Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm happy to be with you again. I've been traveling for 2 weeks, and so I haven't done a Facebook Live in that time. And it's good to be with you again. So today we're talking about power. Yeah, so if you have any questions about what I'm sharing here, please feel free to ask them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to address them. I first want to make a distinction. When I talk about power, I'm talking about the true power of love. I'm not talking about all the misuse of power that we see in this world. I'm actually talking about love. Hey Carrie, good morning. Hey Demetrius, thanks for joining me today. You guys, please share this video if you feel inspired to do so. We want to get as many light workers in on this conversation as possible. This is a really important topic because I know that a lot of you are actually afraid of your power to some degree. And it's time for us to step up, to be seen, to be heard, and to, get over it. So I don't say that lightly because I know that there are many layers involved with this concept. And I'm going to share one of my stories when I had a personal breakthrough with one level of my power. Oh, thanks for all the hearts, you guys. I love you too. So it was a couple of years ago, and I was working on, being okay with my power because I did have a lot of fear around power. I had a lot of fear around being powerful. I had a lot of fear around stepping up in a bigger way. And I didn't really understand why. It was just this fear that I felt. And so I did a session with my friends, and we were talking, going into the inner work and seeing what was there and, all these things. And what I discovered was that there was a lifetime that I had where I was a dragon. And I was like a teenage dragon, so I was young. And I went out one day to play, and I was breathing fire everywhere. And I was just having fun, I was breathing fire, I was destroying villages, I was, killing people with this fire. It was messy, it wasn't good. But in my innocence, I was just playing and having fun. Well, when the elders, the dragon elders, found out what I was doing, they came and got me, locked me up, and I basically died being locked up, being imprisoned. And yes, I love dragons too. And I'm a dragon this lifetime in Chinese astrology, so I find that very fascinating. And I have a lot of fire in my chart. I'm very fiery. And so in this lifetime, I've had to learn how to temper my fire. I've had to learn how to use it, to channel it instead of, just breathing it everywhere and hurting people along the way in my path. And when I forgave myself for that lifetime, I really freed myself to shine, to be powerful on this planet. And it also brought me to that place in understanding that true power is the power of love. So a lot of you may be feeling a fear of misusing your power, like I did in that lifetime as a dragon. You may be feeling a fear of your own light. And that is actually much more normal than you might think, to be scared of your light, to be fearful of actually connecting with your light in a deep way, and to share it, to shine, to step up, to be seen, to be heard. And it's really important right now. Take a deep breath, you guys. It's really important right now that we as light workers step up. Whether we feel that fear or not, it's important that we move through the fear if we are feeling it and step up. Be seen, be heard, share our message, share our wisdom. And I love this, Max created this little diagram I'm going to show you an actual little pyramid instead of the diagram because Facebook Lives like switches the words. So it's my little props for today. Here's the visual. So the bottom of the pyramid, the foundation is love. So this layer here, this is love. The next layer is wisdom. So when we have the foundation of love and wisdom, the power goes at the top. Right? Okay, so just a quick review. Love is the foundation of our power, followed by wisdom, and our power is at the top. So if you're using your power without love, without wisdom, then yes, that is a misuse of power. And that is what most of us see on this planet. That is what most of us see with, the leaders, the government, the banking system, the cabal, on and on and on. That's what most of us have seen our whole lives. This power being misused without the foundation of love and wisdom. So cultivate the wisdom, cultivate the love, and then the power, you can't misuse it if your power is coming from love and wisdom, right? So I love this little diagram that Max created because it's profound. And that's what we need to do. We need to have that foundation of love and wisdom, and then the power that we express will automatically be for the highest good. So my invitation for you today is to look deeper into your fear. Like, what is this fear really about? Is it a fear of misusing your power? Is it a fear of your light? A lot of what I've worked through in being seen and being heard and stepping into my power was a journey of looking deeper into my fears and all the lifetimes where I've been persecuted, killed, burned, martyred, all that stuff. All those lifetimes, that cellular memory that was within my body, within my DNA, cleaning that up and showing up despite those anxieties or fears that I felt about showing up. And this is like really practical. So for me, it looked like, going to a networking meeting when I didn't want to be with anybody, when I wanted to be alone, when I didn't want to share myself with anyone, stepping up, putting myself out there anyway. It looked like, the really rough, hard days when I had a client scheduled and all I wanted to do was cancel the client and just go back to bed. Stepping up, showing up anyway. I can give you so many examples like that, on and on and on, where all I wanted to do was hide or go back to bed or whatever, but showing up anyway. And that is powerful, because what that does to the trauma that has been stored within your cells is it transmutes it. What that does to the trauma is it says, you know what? My message, my mission is more important than the trauma. And I'm going to show up despite all of the things that have happened in the past. I'm going to show up despite what I'm feeling in this moment. I have a mission. I've made a commitment to fulfill this mission, and I'm showing up. And that is powerful. And that, for me at least, comes from the foundation of love. Love for this planet, love for humanity, love for my mission of creating heaven on earth. That comes from love, and that is why I show up over and over and over again, even when I don't feel like it. That is why I step up. That's why I create and allow the quantum leaps in my life, even when I don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't feel great. And that is so important. And that is what I am inviting you into as well. To step up, even when you don't feel like it, to share your message, to share your love, to share your power, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't feel great, even when you know it might not be received, or when you know that you might get backlash or people might make nasty comments. I mention all the time the comments that I have on my YouTube channel. Some of them aren't nice, but that's okay. I allow the expression of others. And it's not going to take away from my mission or my commitment to my mission just because of what someone thinks about something that I say. Yeah, no more hiding. So this truly is a time, and the eclipse energies are really going to highlight this for us, you guys. This truly is a time where we need to step up in our true power of love, where we need to express what is going on, what we know, the wisdom that we have to share. And there's, this shift is accelerating. Times are becoming more and more intense. Polarity is increasing. It's obvious. We can just look around and see it. It's not, it's not hidden that these things are happening. So as light workers, it's really more important now than ever to be in our power. And I'm going to gently call a few of you out. So there are 18 names in my crystal grid for the retreat in October. And out of those 18 people, not one of you have registered for the retreat. And so I'm wondering, what is it that is preventing you from stepping up? You've heard the call, you've expressed the interest, you've taken the step to say, yes, put my name in the crystal grid, but you haven't yet registered. And so I'm going to invite you to take a really deep look at yourself, to say, is there a fear in stepping up? Is there a fear in attending this retreat? Terry, the retreat in October 19th through the 22nd, the Unlock Your Power retreat here in Sedona. I want you to, I invite you, not I want you to, that's projection, right? I invite you to take a real look at yourself. Why is it that you have felt the call, expressed the interest, but haven't taken that final step of registration? Because this is the thing that I see a lot with light workers, and this is what holds us back. We hear the call, and then we just sort of like hang out and waffle. Like we get in our heads, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Is the timing right? Is the location right? Blah, blah. We let ourselves get in our heads, create doubt, and then not take any steps to move forward. I've given you an opportunity with this retreat to step into your power, to unlock your power, to activate your spiritual gifts. I've given you the opportunity to step into this. And if you've said, yes, this is for me, but you haven't taken that step, then you're holding yourself back. Yes, I understand a lot of you do have financial limitation. I understand that. And again, I'm not judging you on this. I'm not shaming you in any way. Please, this is not what this is about. I'm asking you to take a deep look within yourself to see. And this is not just about the retreat. This is anything you feel called to and you don't do it, you don't move forward with it. I'm just using the retreat as an example, okay? So let's just be clear. Anytime you feel the call to move forward in something, to say, yes, I'm going to do this, and you say yes, but then you don't take the action that goes with it, you're holding yourself back. You're dimming your power. You're suppressing your power. And this is what needs to change if we want to create the shift on this planet, light workers. Yes, I'm talking to you. This is what needs to change if we want to create this shift. There must be, when you hear the call, there must be that inspired action that goes with it. That when you hear the call to do something, you say, yes, I'm doing it. And you find a way to make it happen. There have been so many things that I've done over the past 12 years with my business that I should not have ever been able to do based on my financial situation, my geographic location, whatever. But I never made any excuses. When I heard the call, I said yes, and I took that initial step forward. And I just kept taking those steps one after the other. I didn't know the path. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I just kept saying, yes, I'm going to do it. And actually, I have a very special person coming in a few days here to Sedona, and we're going to be recording some amazing content for you guys about freeing yourself from the matrix and the money systems, etc. And I was really impressed by how he handled it. He heard the call. He said yes. he didn't necessarily know how it was going to happen, but he just kept taking the steps. Like, the money wasn't necessarily there every time, from my understanding, but he just kept saying it was a yes. So he just kept taking the steps. And that's the kind of faith and the level of trust that we need to have as light workers to be in our power. We hear the call, we say yes, and we start taking the steps. We don't need to have the whole path lined out for us. We don't need to know the outcome at the end. We just keep following our hearts, following our intuition, and being in our power. And that trust and that faith is so powerful. And that's what gets us from point A to point B. That's what creates our quantum leaps. When we say yes, when we hear the call and we start taking those steps to move forward. So I'm curious if any of you who are with me now have any questions about what I've been sharing. I'm really, really passionate about this because, again, we need to step up and be in our power as light workers if we want to create the shift. And I know that you can do it with me. I know that I'm not alone in this. I know there are hundreds and thousands, and wouldn't it be great if there were millions of us doing this together? I'm curious if there's anything that has you stuck right now, that has you feel like I can't step into that level of power that I want to. Please share those comments below. And there were a few things that that people shared earlier, so I'm just gonna go back to my Facebook and see what people have shared. Okay, this is great. I love this one. Lucy says, yes, how do I wield my power in a non-threatening way to others? This is such a great question, and Lucy, I'm so glad you asked this question. So, automatically, when you wield your power, again, the true power of love, automatically when you wield your power, it may trigger others. It may feel threatening to others because, again, if it's the true power of love that you are wielding, it is going to shine a light upon their shadow in a way where they feel threatened by you. This is not your responsibility to coddle them, to make them feel less threatened. This is not your responsibility to make sure they're okay. Your responsibility is to be in your power of love, to share your power of love. And if they're not ready to receive it, move on to the next person, that's fine. If it triggers them, it's not your responsibility to make sure they're not triggered. And this is really hard for empaths because we feel, when someone's triggered, we feel their emotions. And if we're not clear on who we are, it can confuse our energies, and we can start to think that what we are feeling from that other person's trigger is actually us, and that's not true. So it's really important to be with your energy, to know who you are, because as you share your power, it may feel threatening to somebody else. They may get triggered by your light, and that's just how it is. And so, that strong backbone, that, thick skin, you're going to have to develop that. You're going to have to develop that as you begin to be more seen, more heard, as you begin to step up. Because not everyone's going to like what you have to say. And it's not that you are purposefully threatening them. It's just that they might feel threatened by something that you say or how you are. If you guys watched the video about how to handle projections, and I shared the story about that woman while I was on the rock, and she was, calling me names and projecting her anger onto me, she did not appreciate the light that I was sharing. And as much as I wanted her to feel better about it, it wasn't my responsibility to make sure she was okay. So it's really important for you to know your energy, your being, and not allow the triggers of others, not allow what they're feeling, especially if you're an empath, to taint your field, because then you can begin to back down from being powerful. And that's not what we want at all. So thank you, Lucy, for that great question. That was really, really beautiful. Carrie says, I'm afraid deep down in the bottom of my soul to activate my power. I still need some help cleaning or some clarifying advice to reach the depths of my soul so that I can transmute these fears of annihilation. And I think, Carrie, what you're talking about is what I shared earlier with the cellular memory that I really had to work with and clear. I remember it was Halloween. It was probably, it's probably like 6 years ago or something. And I was meeting with a colleague, and I'm walking down the street, and there are these like scarecrow type things that they had set up. And there was one, it was like this woman, and her head was off to the side, and it was kind of like, just like dangling there. And it triggered me so deep. I saw this figure, and I just, like, all of it came rushing back to me every time I had my head chopped off for, speaking my voice and whatever. And it was like, whoa, I had to get really clear that this lifetime, that is not the experience I'm creating this lifetime. Like, I am complete with all the times that I was killed for sharing my message. That's done, and I am safe and protected in this lifetime. And I really had to do a lot of work with cultivating the safety within my cellular being at the cellular level. And that's ongoing. I'm still working with that, of course. And so, Carrie, for you and anyone else who is feeling this, that's something that you're going to have to just keep working with, cultivating that safety within yourself and really offering so much love and gentleness to that cellular trauma, because that's how you transmute it, is when you bring love to it. So, just holding yourself and, rocking, or even sucking your thumb, because when you suck your thumb, it hits the amygdala, which is the emotional center of your brain, and it helps to, you can even massage that right up there. It helps to soothe the emotional centers of your brain, to rewire your nervous system, especially when you do it with intention. And maybe you want to use an essential oil that's calming or soothing for you. While you do that with the intention of rewiring your nervous system to peace and safety. So some of that work, and some of the work we've been doing with the Master Creators in the Creation Temple along those lines. And Carrie, you can watch some of those replays. Yeah, that's awesome, Fleur. It's totally fine to nourish yourself, to nourish your inner child, do the inner child healing, all of the stuff that I've been sharing with you guys. Those are all ways to rewire your nervous system towards safety, and to just to nourish and nurture. These times that we're in are intense. They're not necessarily easy, and it requires extra nourishment, requires extra nurturing. And you can totally do that for yourself. It doesn't have to be something that someone else does for you. Thank you guys for sharing this video. I really appreciate it. 12 of you have shared this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I have something special. That I want to do for one of you. What you're going to do is you're going to comment in the comments below, yes, heart. And this is going to be for someone in the US. I apologize. Unless you want to pay for shipping, if you're outside of the US and you want to pay for shipping, then I can do this for you. But what I'm going to do is everyone who puts in the comments, yes, heart, I'm going to write down your name and put it in a little bowl, and I'm going to pull one of your names, and then I'm going to send you this red rock heart from Sedona. So my friend Robert makes these hearts, and he infuses them with Reiki, and he infuses them with lots of love. And I'd like one of you to have this heart to help you remember your true power, to help you to activate your true power and your spiritual gifts. So if you want this heart, put in the comments below, yes, heart. And if you are not in the US, I'm making an assumption that you are going to pay for the shipping. Okay, so if you're not from the US and you That's okay, USA needed more. Yes, the USA needs lots of love. We all do, really. So if you'd like this heart, put in the comments, yes, heart, and then after and yes, you guys watching the replay on YouTube, I'm going to give you a few days to, so that you can comment as well. And then we'll get connected and you'll send me your mailing address and all of that. But how it's going to work is first you put in the comments, yes, heart, and then I will write down all of your names. I'm going to put them in a container and pull one of your names, and then I'll get it sent out to you as a reminder of who you are, and as a reminder to that it's safe when you are expressing your power from a place of love, that you are safe and those around you are safe, and that we are creating this shift. Oh, I love all the hearts, you guys. You're amazing. Thank you. So I am hoping that this video helped you to maybe look at some of those deeper things within you that might be holding you back from being powerful. Because again, this time is so important, and I'll say it over and over and over again until you guys are really like getting the message and living it. It's time for us to be in our power. And I am inviting you to the retreat in October 19th through 22nd here in Sedona. Of course, it's called Unlock Your Power, because that's what this retreat is all about. Like really stepping into your power, stepping up, allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to be heard, allowing yourself to be felt by others. And so if that retreat is calling to you, I'll put the link for registration in the comments a little bit later after I'm done with this video. And of course, we'd love to have you here in Sedona as part of the retreat. Also, quick announcement, there is a new Prime Creator channeling video all about the eclipse in the Creation Temple for free members. So if you're not yet a free member and you want to access that video, again, it's free. So you can just go to creationtemple.com and sign up, and you can watch that video from Prime Creator about the eclipse. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being with me this morning. I really appreciate your presence here. And I just realized, I don't know if I answered all the questions that people wrote. Oh, here's another one actually from Christina. I'm afraid of my power because of psychosis that appears to only be controlled with medication at the moment. Okay. All right. Well, Christina, I don't know you well enough to really comment, because there are a lot of layers and levels to what's going on for you. So I don't know that I can, truly give you assistance from this video. But something that's really important for you and for everyone is to come back into center in your heart, because that's where the power lies. And so if there's a psychosis going on, a mental illness, if you're taking medication, all of that stuff, you have to remember that you're more powerful than any of that. And that remembering is going to come from within your heart. I'm not saying this is an easy process. You're a master, Christina. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going through this experience. You wouldn't be really working with this level and this depth of polarity if you weren't. That is my belief and what I feel about you. Take it as you wish. But what's going to be really important is to come back to center within your heart, because that is where your true power lies. And it's going to be a process to remember your power, and that you're more powerful than any medication. You're more powerful than any thoughts, any mental psychoses that you're experiencing. And it's going to be work. I'm not going to lie. It's work. Yeah. So I send you lots of love, sweetheart, because I know that journey is not easy. And I just send you a ton of compassion, because I know that experiences like that are not easy. I fought with my mind for years, and I thought that I was psychotic. I really did. I thought, I don't think it's to the level that you're experiencing, Christina, so I don't want to in any way diminish your experience. Yeah, CBD. I don't know if you tried CBD, but that might be something that would be helpful. But it takes a lot of commitment and discipline to integrate the mind and the intellect so that the power of your heart can shine through. And I've been working on that for years and years and years. And trust me, it has been a challenging journey for me because I was all head. I was all up here. Yeah, I had a lot of love too, but yeah, my mind was the ruler. So it takes some time to really get into the heart and really be centered within the heart. So yeah, I send you lots of love, Christina, for that journey. What an amazing journey you're on. So I love you guys again. Thank you so much for joining me. I will put the link for the retreat in the comments below so that those of you who are feeling called can go ahead and register. And you guys just be extra gentle and nourishing to yourself during this time of the eclipse energies. There's so much going on. There's so much unfolding, so much coming into the light. And you can be powerful in all of it by connecting with your energy, by being grounded, being integrated, practicing, staying centered, breathing, going out into nature, staying hydrated. All of these things can really help right now. Give yourself lots of love, lots of nourishing. Oh, thank you for the hearts. You guys, the hearts are just popping everywhere. It's awesome. All right, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.